What's up, guys? It is Nylock Get Money bringing you another Road to 100K. I think this is episode 3. Thank you for tuning in. And without further ado, let's just get into it. Let's make this one quick today. But now that we have it all set up, it's pretty easy for me to kind of go over exactly what I did for a while. You know, if you were here from the last 2 episodes, I've been kind of like rebalancing everything, kind of getting the foundation laid, which again isn't a big deal. It's just now it's all foundationed. We have the groundwork laid out. So now every time I do buy something additionally, I can show you guys and I can tell you exactly why. The only time I'm really not doing that specifically is if it's for Robinhood, because it's more that's more trading. And if I make any big moves on that, I will let you guys know. However, anything that I do deposit from here on out, I will be able to track. So let's go over it. So this month, I put in about $1,400 into my Roth, which is really nice. I did get my tax return, so you know that went mostly into that, as well as my normal contributions of like $550. I think that's like my minimum I need to do each month to max it out. If there's good deals in the market, you want to scoop up those stocks at a lower price that you can. That's what's nice about having flexibility in your finances, is when sales come around, you can have the bankroll to capitalize on that, really. The $1,400 into the Roth, I'm going to go over literally every single stock I bought and just tell you guys. So I started off with a Meta and VU gave me dividends right as the month ended on March. So I basically just re-put those into each other. So I put the $2 into Meta. I got $260 from Meta. I put that right back into Meta, and then I got basically $13 from VU. I just put that back in the VU. So I don't really count those. If I'm getting dividends, I'm just reinvesting those right into the stock, the underlying company, because again, I just want this to snowball, grow. It's on the Roth. We're not getting paid stupid amounts yet anyway, so it'll work. To start the month off in April, we put $300 in the VU. So again, pretty basic, easy. Don't ever think about it. You know, if you guys are very new to all this, like, as you can see, I wouldn't say, again, I'm not an expert. This is not financial advice. But, you know, if you go for ETFs, the S&P 500, it's a pretty basic investment. You might not get the biggest gains ever in the world, but it is a sure way of, you know, again, laying that foundation. Again, this is in the Roth, so we want to just keep the investments pretty simple. But yeah, VU, great buy. You should always buy it. Next, I put in $200, and 100 of that went to American Express, another 100 to Microsoft. And as you can see through the rest of this month, I will be putting in a lot into Microsoft. I just thought it was at a dip, and all the companies that I have now in the Roth I have a pretty good conviction on. I like them, and that's what you need when you're finding stocks like this, especially for long-term holdings. I'm not going to be selling these. I'm not going to be trading these companies at all. So when I see that they're on discounts, that's just like money signs in my eyes, like money signs. That's what's nice about investing in companies you believe in and you are locked in with, because again, if a company that you don't really like sells off, or you're not like too sure about them, what is that going to make you feel? You're going to feel down. You're going to be like, oh no, should I sell? You know, should I panic sell? Should I get out of this before it's too late? On the reverse end, if you have companies that you believe in, you know they're always going to go up. Not everything goes up, but you believe in them, you believe in the future, you know what you're doing, you know what you're buying into. Every time it goes on a dip, that's just a blessing. You love that. So again, I believe in Microsoft. Yes, they were on a downturn, but the rest of this month, you're going to be seeing I bought a lot. On April 10th, I bought $100 in Meta. Again, just another pretty basic Mag 7 stock. You know, I got Mag 7s, a few other companies, and then most of it's VU. So I know you guys saw the percentages, but I might show them on the screen again. But like, again, $100 in Meta, nothing crazy. April 15th, I put another $200 into Microsoft. Again, just kind of on its downturn. I'm trying to think. It was at 402 at that point. I don't know if it's down or up. Microsoft been kind of like on a downturn, but again, when you have those convictions, you are comfortable buying. April 22nd, another $100 into Microsoft. And then once I got my tax return, I put in $500 again. And then 300 of that went to Microsoft, and 200 of that went to American Express. So again, most of the buys this month were VU, Microsoft, Meta, and American Express. Again, I like American Express. That was in my dividend portfolio, but I moved it to the Roth just because I believe in them. I like them. I know Warren Buffett really likes that company too. Just, you know, my own personal convictions, but those are the stocks that I completely bought this month. Again, now that we have it set up, we got the foundation. I will be able to keep you guys updated on every single trade that I do make or add to positions that I already have. So real quick, we'll go to the Google Sheet and we'll kind of just track this. I forgot to go over too how much, well, I mean, you might have been able to see, but the Roth total is at $25,534.24. So, and then as you can see in the Google Sheet, since it's like, I also meant to say I'm going to be doing these monthly recaps at the end of the month now. That way I can add more money and like buy more positions throughout the month more, if that makes sense. So I don't want to be like handicapping myself. I make a video on March 5th, you know, and it's early, and then like I buy way more shares of something or I put more money in, then it's kind of like, you know, it's a little weird. So I just think it'll be easier. I'm just doing them at the end of the month now. I think that just makes more sense. $1,400 deposits. That's the total deposits. And then we got gain percentage loss, which we up 11%, which is awesome. And then, yeah, we're at $25,000 in the Roth, and it's got the total gain and total percent gain. So looking pretty good in the Roth. I feel like it was a really good month. Like everything kind of leveled out. The VU and the Qs are kind of doing all right now. The whole scare. We'll get into that in a little bit, but overall, I think the Roth is looking really good. I think I added it into some good positions for the long term, which is what you want to be thinking for the Roth. So I'm really happy with how this is looking right now. Okay, next we got the Robinhood account, which again, since we haven't maxed out the Roth quite yet, this is still not getting added to. Once I do max it out, which I think I'm pretty close on the Roth IRA this year, I will be adding to my Robinhood position just because that's my other individual account or individual broker. But again, I just don't think, me personally, it's not financial advice. It just doesn't really make sense to not take advantage of the tax benefited accounts, especially for your retirement, before going into a taxable brokerage account. Now, to be fair, I hadn't been doing this for the last like 5 years. Like I was kind of just putting Roth money away a little bit and then a lot of money into Robinhood. But again, that's why you guys are watching me. I have years of doing this stuff, so you can kind of learn from my mistakes. And this is, again, just easier for me to kind of tweak and come back and look at how far I've come. But, yeah, so we'll go over that real quick. It says we are at $15,701.41. Again, this one's kind of hard for, again, I didn't add any new positions, but I was kind of, I do a little bit of tweaking and, trying to maximize exactly what is going on so I can try to see. I really don't like, I think the only thing I really did, so we still got the Netflix option, which went up a ton initially. So as you can see in April, I was feeling good about life. And then right in the middle of April, they had their earnings call and I think the CEO stepped away. So that really hurt. I was feeling good about life, and then that hurts. But again, since it's a leap, you got to have conviction. I still believe in Netflix. I still think they're a leader. When you have a conviction or you have a trade in mind, I really do strongly suggest to just like see it through. Once you see it through, you can either learn from it or whatever. You just don't want to be panic selling or like, sometimes I could have sold my option for like $1,000 in gains, but then that might have limited me because what if the stock kept going up, right? So it's one of those things where you just kind of have to, once you do something, just put your mind to it. This is kind of a life advice tip too. Like once you put your mind to it, like see it through. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Trust your, not your gut, but like, the research you've done and the, experience, at least for me, and just let it go. So we're still waiting on that to kind of do its thing, but that's fine. I did have shares in the underlying stock as well, but we sold that off just because we are kind of exposed right now to Netflix. And again, I'm not like horribly mad at it. Again, Netflix is down now, so in theory, I should be buying more. I still might, but I wanted to be a little bit less concentrated on specifically Netflix. I still think there's better options globally. I don't even know what I was looking for there. So I sold a little bit of the baseline of Netflix to buy NVIDIA. So I'm more into NVIDIA. As you can see, Google is still doing this thing. Spotify was doing this thing. DraftKings is selling me. ASML, Microsoft, all that stuff. So I really haven't bought anything else. The really only things I've done on Robinhood was sell my QQQ puts. That was last month, though. And I just want to have some change on the app just in case, I like to trade TQQ just because you get bigger percentage gains on the Qs. So I sold out of that, which I probably shouldn't have, but you live and you learn. It's a trade. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But yeah, let's take it to the Google Sheet real quick. So Google Sheet says we have made no deposits, so we still have the same number of deposits. We're up another $856.97, which is almost a 6% return. There's the portfolio value and the total gain, total return percent. So another good another good month in the Robinhood. Again, Robinhood is my more riskier investments. Obviously, I have an options, that can just blow up or nuke your account or blow it up higher. So I don't recommend getting into options and stuff like that just yet until you can kind of not only afford them, but also like mentally afford them. Because if you see your account go down like $3,000 or $300, whatever it is, like whatever your portfolio is, if you have like $100,000 and you lose $20K in a day, can you deal with that, right? So it's all about that risk tolerance level, and I've done it for a few years now. Again, I don't want this account to blow up. Obviously, this is to help me grow my account, but if this went to zero, I wouldn't be devastated. This, again, buying stocks isn't gambling, but there is risk to everything. So that's why it's smart to have a foundation first before you start getting into like more growth opportunities. So there's that. All right, then we're just gonna do this last one pretty quick. The last one and the only one that we have done a deposit for is Coinbase. I do still like Bitcoin and stuff. That's pretty much what I'm buying, I'm pretty sure. I think I've only bought Bitcoin the last 2 months. But we put $100 in, so now we're at total deposits $2,000. We made $400 so far this month or that month, 9% returns, and then that's what the portfolio value is. Total gain, total percent looks good because crypto went stupid. Hindsight's always 2020. Should have put in like 40K into that, but we did it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now let's go for the overall portfolio and get our bearings real quick. All right, so we got our overall portfolio. As you can see, $1,500 in deposits with $29,200. Is that $252 in total deposits. We made about almost $4,000 this month in total portfolio gain. 9% is the percentage. That's the portfolio value. So we're at $46,105.08. That will be in the thumbnail. There's our total gain. There's our total percent. All right. So as you guys can see, this is a pretty good month for me. Again, I try not to like be super excited or super bummed out. Again, this is just what I do, right? This is just a tool that is helping me. Obviously, I want to see every month you would want to see it, double, right? Like that's the goal. However, you got to be realistic. You got to keep market sentiment on your mind. Again, the market was really cooked for a minute because of the whole war and the tariffs. I think that was last year actually. But then the strait was closed. All these policies and changing. There's always going to be something in the market that's either going to bring it down or bring it up, right? So I am just trying to play as neutral as possible and just keep doing what I'm doing. If the market was up, I would still it's easy to say, but I'd still be buying, again, specifically like VU and stuff. I just think VU or the S&P 500, anything that's a ETF and then just like a basic market encapsulation ETF, you should always just be buying that. Now, when there's dips on things, so that's why again, Microsoft was down, Google was down a little bit like beginning of this year, I think, or whenever that was. That's when you want to buy like in bulk. So that's what I'm starting to do. As you can see, though, $1,500 in deposits. You might be thinking, dude, I can't do that much. Like, how did you deposit that much money? Like, where is this money coming from? With that being said, I will point you to this video, which is how to not be broke in 2026. If you haven't seen that video already, check that out. Kind of funny, kind of real, and just, helps me get more money into the market, which in turn is going to make you more money in the long term, right? So, with that being said, guys, overall market, again, I'm not like a market guy. Like, I kind of know what's going on in the world, but I'm not like breaking down each individual earnings. But we did just have a few earnings for some pretty big companies. I know like Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, all of them did their earnings. Netflix too. But overall, I don't even know if the war is still going on. I think the strait is closed because like gas is stupid high still. The files still aren't dropped, but overall, there's always, like I said, there's always going to be reasons not to buy, and there's always going to be reasons to buy in the market. You know, tit for tat it's going to be the same thing every day. It's going to be something different, but the same. You know what I mean? So that being said, guys, just stay strong out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Let me know what you guys are buying, and looking forward to this month in May. And I will see you guys at the end of May to, again, recap what's been going on. So, again, 46,000. We're almost halfway there. So, I appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, and you guys have a great May. Peace.